The Iverni were a people of early Ireland first mentioned in Ptolemy's 2nd century geography as living in the extreme southwest of the island. He also locates a city called Ivernis in the territory, and observes that this settlement has the same name as the island as a whole, Ivernia. The name Iverni has been derived from Proto-Indo-European *PiHwerjoHn, the fertile land. It was probably once the name given to all the peoples of Ireland, but by Ptolemy's time he had a more restricted usage applicable to the inhabitants of the southwest. These Iverni can be identified linguistically with the Erin, a people attested in Munster and elsewhere in the early Middle Ages. The prehistoric Erin royal dynasties are sometimes referred to as the derived. Historical septs. In early Irish genealogical tracts, the Erin are regarded as an ethnic group distinct from the Lagan and Cruthin. Population groups in Munster classed as Erin include the Corcu-Loigd in southwest County Cork, the Muskrage in counties Cork and Tipperary, the Corcu-Dhuibhne in County Kerry, and the Corcu Basin in West County Clare. The Dalriata and Dalfiartic in Ulster are also considered Erin. The Erin appear to have been a powerful group in the proto-historic period, but in early historical times were largely reduced to politically marginal status, with the notable exception of the enigmatic Osriga. The most important of the Munster Erin, the Corcu-Loigd, retained some measure of prestige even after they had become marginalized by the Eoganacta in the 7th or 8th century. It is likely that the sometimes powerful Uiliathane and their close kin the Uiphiginti originally belonged to the Erin as well, but were later counted among the Eoganacta for political reasons. Another prominent Erin people of early Munster believed to have been the Mertine, who by the early historical period have completely vanished from the Irish landscape, although they may be in part ancestral to the later Deacutisi and Dalgcais. The Deacutisi Muman may also have had Erin origins, but this has long been disputed. Darine. It seems likely the Iverni were related to the Darini of East and Ulster. The name Darini implies descent from an ancestor called Dare, as claimed by several historical peoples identified as Erin, including the Dalriata and Dalfiartic in eastern Ulster, as well the Erin of Munster. An early name for Dundrum, County Down, is recorded as Dundroma Darine, and the name Darine was applied to the Corcu-Loigd, further suggesting a relationship between the Darini and the Iverni. Erin, Clanadadad. The genealogies trace the descent of the Erin from two separate eponymous ancestors, Ailul Aran and Iar Magdadad. Legendary relatives of the latter include the Clan Dadad, a Munster people who appear in the Ulster cycle, led by Cuar, son of Magdadad, and the legendary High King Conor Mór, grandson of Iar and ancestor of the Silconeri. The historical sept of the Uemaicciar and the Maqiiar of Oflim inscriptions also appear to be related. The personal name Iar is simply another variant of the root present in Iverni and Erin. Finally, the name Ith, given in the genealogies as the ultimate ancestor of the Corcu-Loigd, and offering some confusion about the parentage and relation to the Iverni, in fact preserves the same Indo-European root *P, thus in effect completing a basic picture of the Iverni, Erin and the kindred in later historical Ireland. Origins and controversies. As Irish scholarship was in its infancy at the time, it was believed by many scholars at the beginning of the 20th century that the Iverni were a remnant of Ireland's pre-Celtic indigenous inhabitants, who had been conquered by the invading Gaels. This view resulted chiefly from the fact that they were not believed at the time to be made up of most of the historical septs mentioned above. but to belong mostly to the realm of later Mother historical tradition and antiquarian speculation, and of course to Ptolemy's geography. O'Rahilly's Belgi hypothesis D.F. O'Rahilly identified the area in with the mythological Furby Olg and the historical Belgi of Gaul and Britain. He proposed that they invaded from Britain and spoke a Brittonic language, which he named Iverni. However, by the proto-historic period, the Aryan were evidently Goidelic speaking, as often inscriptions in primitive Irish are most abundant in counties Cork and Kerry.